Hello friends, welcome to another video of Zeta Axis, and today we are going to discuss about the national parks of Western India, that is the states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra and Goa. This is our second video in this series. In the first video we have discussed the national parks of Northern India, so do watch that video. So starting with the national park of Western India, in this video we will see the national parks in these states, starting from Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra to Goa. So let's start with Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, we know that there are these national parks. There are a total of 5 national parks. So let's start with Desert National Park. As the name suggests, this has a desert ecosystem. It is also an important bird area marked by BirdLife International. Over the internet, there is some confusion over when this Desert National Park was established. These are the 3 years which I have found in my search. This was in a government report, while these are from other sources. So you can verify the year and use the year that is mentioned in your books. So the Desert National Park is located on the western side of Rajasthan in the Thar Desert. We can see that it is spread over Jaisalmer and Barmer districts. If we have a closer look, then we can clearly see that this is a very barren land or sandy area. This is the satellite view of this region, where we can see that most of this Desert National Park is actually comprised of desert. Sand dunes make up about 44% of the park. So these kind of sand dunes are there spread over 45% region of this park. The area contains fossils of both plants and animals. The fossils of plants, they date as old as 180 million years, while the dinosaur fossils can be as old as 60 million years old. So you can see that this is as old as the Western Ghats were formed, and this is as old as the Himalayas started to form. The dominant vegetation in the Desert National Park is thorny shrubs which look something like this because of the arid climate over here. The Desert National Park has abundance of bird life. It is a heaven for migratory and resident birds. There are large varieties of birds found in this Desert National Park. The Great Indian Bustard, which is critically endangered, is found in relatively higher number in this Desert National Park. Earlier, its region was spread across northern India, but now it is spread across a very limited region. Desert National Park is one of the important areas of Great Indian Bustard. Chinkara or Indian gazelle is also a common antelope in the region, and it is a least concerned animal. So here we can see that the Desert National Park is located over here, and Jaisalmer Fort is little outside of Desert National Park. So if the question comes that whether Jaisalmer Fort is in the Desert National Park, then it is not located in the Desert National Park. The next important national park of Rajasthan is Kevladev National Park, established in 1981. It is also a Ramsar wetland. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site under the category of Natural Heritage Sites. It is also an important bird area marked by BirdLife International. The national park is named after Kevladev Temple, located in the premises of Kevladev National Park. If we see the location of Kevladev, then we can see that it is located on the eastern side of Rajasthan in Bharatpur district. Here is a closer look. We can see that this is a plain region. There are no mountains over here. This is a satellite image, and we can see that there is this arid area, and in the middle we see that there is this greenery. In the arid region, this greenery is formed because of the artificial lake, which is also a managed wetland. This reserve is locally known as Ghana. So earlier it was also called Ghana National Park, but now it is called Kevladev National Park or Bharatpur National Park. The park covers approximately 29 square kilometers, and it has mosaic of wetlands, woodlands and grasslands. The Kevladev National Park vegetation mainly comprises of dry deciduous forests. There are some wetlands, obviously because it is a Ramsar wetland site, and there are also grasslands. The Siberian crane, which is a critically endangered species, is also found here. We can see that this is the migratory path of the Siberian crane. where during the winter in the Russian region it migrates to Bharatpur area. The next important national park is Mukundra Hills National Park, which was established in 2004 or 2006. There is some discrepancy over the year on which this park was established. This is from a government report. The Mukundra Hill National Park mainly consists of hills and grasslands. We can also see that the national park has hills in its name. So it has some part as hills and some part as grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under the Project Tiger. If you look at the location of Mukundra Hills, we can see that it is located on the southeastern side of Rajasthan on the border of Madhya Pradesh. It is in Jhalawar district of Rajasthan and the Chambal river passes close by, although there is a lot of distance between the Mukundra Hills and Chambal river. This is the close-up of this Mukundra Hills. We can see that there is this long chain of mountains. This is basically an extension of Vindhya mountains. If we see the topography of this region, then as we have discussed earlier, we can see that some of the part has mountains while some of the part is grasslands or plain region. The Mukundra Hills is situated approximately 50 kilometers from Kota city and it is between Mukundra and Gargola mountain range, where the Mukundra Hills is part of Vindhya mountain range. Here is a satellite view where we can see that this is the mountains. The Mukundra Hills is located in Kathiawar Gir dry deciduous forest environment. So basically the predominant environment here is dry deciduous forest. There are some grasslands as we have discussed and there are some rivers which flow through this region. Therefore it also has riverine ecosystem. There are actually 4 small rivers which flow through the national park. The Mukundra Hills National Park is part of Mukundra Tiger Reserve. Within Mukundra Hills there is Gagron Fort, which is part of UNESCO World Heritage List. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site under Cultural Site classification. Basically, there are mainly 3 categories. One is natural, second is cultural, and the third is mixed. So this comes under cultural. The main animals which are found in Mukundra Hills National Park are sloth bears, which are vulnerable, chinkaras, which are least concerned, then chittal or spotted deer, again least concerned, black panther, and then sambar deer, which is vulnerable. Next important national park is Ranthambore National Park. Again, there is some confusion when it was established, so do verify it. Then the ecosystem of the Ranthambore consists of hills and grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under Project Tiger. It is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. If you look at the location of Ranthambore National Park, then we can see that it is located on the eastern side of Rajasthan on the border of Madhya Pradesh. It is located in Savai Madhopur district of Rajasthan and Banas river forms the northern margin while the Chambal river forms the southern margin. Both of these rivers meet in the Ranthambore National Park. This is basically the core area, while the national park generally has core area as buffer area. So these rivers, they meet in the buffer area zone of this Ranthambore National Park. So here we can see Aravalli mountain ranges. So we can see that Ranthambore National Park is not located on Aravalli mountain ranges. If we look at the topology of this region, then we can clearly see that it consists of both low hills as well as grasslands. This is the satellite view of this region. We can see that there are some mountains and rest are grasslands. The Ranthambore National Park is again dry deciduous forest and open grassy meadow. So all the national parks in this region, that is in the Rajasthan region or Madhya Pradesh region, we will mainly find them to have dry deciduous forests. It is also a part of Project Tiger Reserve. Ranthambore is known for its large tiger population. So just like Corbett National Park, Ranthambore also has large tiger population. The Ranthambore fort lies within the Ranthambore National Park and it was built in the 5th century by Yadav's ruler Maharaj Jayant. And this fort is also part of UNESCO World Heritage as a cultural site. Remember, the Ranthambore National Park is not part of UNESCO World Heritage, but a fort, a Ranthambore fort within the Ranthambore National Park is part of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. The important animals beside tiger in this national park are Indian leopard, which is near threatened, sambar deer, and then sloth bears, which are vulnerable. The next important national park of Rajasthan is Sariska National Park. Again, there is some confusion over the net. It consists of hills and grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under Project Tiger. It is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. If you look at the location, then it is slightly in the northeastern side of Rajasthan. It is located in Alwar district. It is part of Northern Aravalli range. So this Sariska National Park is basically part of the Aravalli mountain ranges. Here is the topography of this region. If you see this topography in 3D, we can clearly see that this region has mainly mountains and some grasslands. These all are Aravalli mountains. Here is the satellite view of this region. So we can see that there are some grasslands on the lower regions and these are the mountainous regions. The national park again comprises of dry deciduous forests, grasslands and rocky hills. Rocky hills because it is part of Aravallis which have been eroded over the billions of years. The Sariska National Park is also part of Project Tiger under Sariska Tiger Reserve. These are the animals which are found in abundance over here. Indian leopard, sambar deer, sloth bears and chittal or spotted deer. Marble mining is an important threat to this Sariska National Park. Now let's move on to Gujarat. The main national parks in Gujarat are Marine or Gulf of Kutch National Park, Blackberg, Gir National Park and Vansada National Park. So there are a total of 4 national parks in Gujarat. So let's start with Blackberg National Park, which is located in Velvadar. It was established in 1976 and the ecosystem of Blackberg National Park is grassland. So it does not have any mountains. It is purely a grassland. It is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. It is located around the central region of Gujarat. The Blackberg National Park is part of Bhavnagar district. And if we see, it is located very close to Gulf of Khambat over here. This is the topography of this region. We can see that mostly this region is plain region located very close to Gulf of Khambat. So the salt farms are seen over here. This is the region of our Blackberg National Park and this is the Gulf of Khambat. The vegetation in Velvadar National Park is mainly dry grasslands. As we can see over, it has dry grasses and the whole region is flat. Blackberg is an important animal in this national park and that is why it is called Blackberg National Park. The number of Blackberg National Park is around 1800 in this national park. Another important bird of this national park is lesser floricle, which is a critically endangered species and this is also a type of bustard. The next important national park is Gir Forest National Park, established in 1975. This national park also has some part as hills and some part as grasslands. It is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. It is located in the southern side of Gujarat, in the Kathiawar region. Here is the topography of Gir National Park. We can see a 3D view of this topography where we can see that there are some hills, but mostly it is grasslands. Here you can see that there are some scattered hills, but mostly it is grassland. This is the satellite view of Gir National Park. So we can see that there are some rivers on which dams have been formed within the Gir National Park and it is a major source of water in this region. The Gir National Park has a very diverse topography as it has hills, plateaus and valleys. The forest is mainly dry deciduous as you can see in the image and the vegetation mainly consists of teak trees. The Gir National Park is the only place in the world where we can find Asiatic lions. Because of the vulnerability of these lions to be restricted to a single region, there was a plan to move some lions to Mukundra Hills. The lion population, however, in Gir forest has increased because of the conservation efforts over here. There were around 523 individual lions in 2015. The other animals which are found in Gir forest are leopard, chittal, four-horned antelope which is vulnerable and then sloth bears which are again vulnerable. The next important national park of Gujarat is Marine National Park. which is in Gulf of Kutch. It was established in 1982 and it is basically a marine ecosystem or oceanic ecosystem. If you see, then it is located on the western side of Gujarat, spread over Devbhoomi Dwarka and Jamnagar district. Here is the close-up of this region, where we can see the Marine National Park is spread across this sea coast. All these islands are basically part of Marine National Park. Here we can see the topography of this region, which is basically a marine ecosystem but having a lot of islands. Here is the figure or map of this Marine National Park, where we can see that all these regions which are marked in this green color are part of Marine National Park, and these yellow regions which we see along the coast is part of Marine Sanctuary. There are a total of 42 islands on the Jamnagar coast in the Marine National Park, and which are surrounded by reefs. So coral reefs are found in this national park. We find coral reefs. Approximately 33 of the islands have these coral reefs. Mangroves are also found here. They provide critical breeding grounds for various species. Mud flats and seagrass can also be seen within the oceans. The important breeds of turtle which are found here are green sea turtle, which is an endangered species. Then we have olive ridley, which is vulnerable, and then leatherback sea turtle, which is also a vulnerable species. We also find dugong, which is also called as sea cow because it eats the seagrass. Here you can see that these green patches, these are basically oceanic grasses. And this creature, that is the dugong, which is a mammal, it eats these grasses. Whale shark, which is an endangered species, is found here. Then we also see stingrays as well as seahorse in the Marine National Park of Gulf of Kutch. The next important national park of Gujarat is Vansada National Park, established in 1979. Again, it has some part as hills and some part as grasslands. It is located in southern Gujarat. Here we can see that it is located in Dang district and Ambika River flows through Vansada National Park. This is basically located in Western Ghats. So some of the parts of it are mountainous. Here we can see the topography of this Vansada National Park, where we can clearly see that some of the part is mountainous while the others is having hilly terrain. We can also see Ambika River. Here is the satellite view, the Ambika River flowing through it, and this is the national park. The Vansada National Park also has deciduous forests, mainly comprising of teak, bamboo, various orchids and other deciduous trees. The important animals found here are leopard, chital and four-horned antelope. Now let's move on to Maharashtra. Maharashtra again has 5 national parks. So let's start with Gugamal National Park. Guga National Park was established in 1975. It is also having some part as hills and some part as grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under Project Tiger. It is located in the northern side of Maharashtra in the Amravati district. And we can see that on the northern side we have Tapi river or Tapti river, and on the southern side we have Purna river. So it is in between these two rivers we find Gugamal National Park. This national park is located within Satpura block of mountains. Here we can see the close-up of this region. We can clearly see that this is having a mountainous terrain. Here we can see the 3D view of the topography of this Gugamal National Park, and we will see that a large part of this national park is mountainous. The Tapi river is located on the northern side. This is a satellite view. Again we can see the mountains in this national park, and these are basically a dry deciduous region, as we can see from this satellite image. The park predominantly features southern dry deciduous forests, which include teak and bamboo. The Gugamal National Park is also part of Melghat Tiger Reserve. So it is also a part of Tiger Reserve, but the name is Melghat Tiger Reserve. The important animal species living here are Indian leopard, barking deer, four-horned antelope, sambar deer, and then we have gaur or Indian bison. The next important national park of Maharashtra is Navegaon National Park, which was formed in 1975. It has some part as hills, some part as grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under Project Tiger, and it is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. If you see the location of Goa National Park, we can see that it is located on the eastern side of Maharashtra, in the Gondia district of Maharashtra. Here we can see topography of this region, where we can see that there are some small hills as well as patches of green land. Here is the 3D view of the topography, which will help you understand the characteristics of the region. You can clearly see that there are some mountain ranges and there are some plain areas. Here is the satellite view. We can also see that there are some water reservoirs. So these water reservoirs also form a bird sanctuary. The Goa National Park is also part of Goa National Tiger Reserve. So as we have seen, there were some major reservoirs within the Goa National Park. So Dr. Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary is formed over there, and it is home to 60% of bird species found in entire Maharashtra. Every winter, flocks of migratory birds visit the lake. The park consists of varied topography. We see that there was some mountain region, some grasslands, and it has basically moist deciduous forests. The important animals living over here are Indian leopard, tiger, sambar deer, and gaur or Indian bison. The next important national park of Maharashtra is Tadoba Andhari National Park, established in 1955, which mainly consists of some hills and grasslands. It is also a tiger reserve under Project Tiger. It is also an important bird area under BirdLife International. Tadoba Andhari National Park is located on the eastern side of Maharashtra, in the Chandrapur district of Maharashtra, and Andhari River flows through Tadoba Andhari National Park. And because of this Andhari River, it gets its name, Tadoba Andhari National Park. So here we can see the topography of this region, which mainly seems to be formed of plain region. If we look at the 3D view of this national park, then we will see that it comprises mainly of plain area and some small hills. So this region is mainly a plain area, and there are some smaller mountains or hills in this region. The name Tadoba Andhari comes from two sources. First is that Tadoba is taken from the local god which is worshipped by local tribes, and Andhari comes from Andhari River. It is Maharashtra's oldest and largest national park. This is the satellite view, where we can see that there are very less amount of mountains and mostly it is plain area. The Andhari River flows through it. The region has predominantly tropical dry deciduous forest, and teak is the most important tree, and bamboo is also found over here. There are patches of grasslands within the Tadoba Andhari National Park. This Tadoba Andhari National Park is part of Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve under Project Tiger. The important animals found here are Indian leopard, gaur or Indian bison, and sloth bears. So you have seen that these are the common animals living across the national parks in Maharashtra. The next important national park of Maharashtra is Sanjay Gandhi National Park, which was established in 1981 or 93. Again, there is some confusion over the internet. This is from a government report and you can also verify. Then the region mainly consists of hills and some grasslands. If you see, it is located on the western side of Maharashtra in the Borivali region of Mumbai. It is located in northern Mumbai. Here we can see the topography of this region, where we can clearly see that this is the Sanjay Gandhi National Park and this is the Mumbai city spread around it. Here is the 3D view of this national park, where you can clearly see that there are some mountains and some grasslands. I think here on the southern side we will see Powai Lake. This is the satellite image, and here is the Powai Lake. Now this national park also have teak as the predominant tree species, and bamboo is also found here. Within the national park we find Kanheri caves, which is a Buddhist cave, and it was made 2400 years ago. It was sculpted by monks out of the rock basaltic cliffs, and they lie within the Sanjay Gandhi National Park. The other animals which live here are chital, sambar deer, and Indian leopard. The next important national park is Chandoli National Park, formed in 2004. This national park has mainly hills or mountains of Western Ghats. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the Natural Heritage Sites. Now when you will go over the internet, you will not see Chandoli National Park as a World Heritage Site. It is because the Chandoli National Park is classified under the Western Ghat cluster. Therefore, you have to look into the regions classified as World Heritage Site in Western Ghats cluster. There you will see name of Chandoli National Park. So this whole Chandoli National Park is a World Heritage Site. If you see, it is located in the southern side of Maharashtra. The Chandoli National Park is located in Sangli district of Maharashtra in the Western Ghats, and therefore this region has mainly mountains. If you look at the topography, we can clearly see that this is located in the belt of Western Ghats. Even when we look at the 3D topography, we can clearly see that it is the crest of these mountains which form the Chandoli National Park. Within the Chandoli National Park, we also have a Chandoli Dam. The park spreads along the crest of Sahyadri range, that is Western Ghats, which you have seen in the last slide. The Chandoli National Park is also a tiger reserve under Sahyadri Tiger Reserve. So it is part of this tiger reserve. The forest is mainly coast moist forest or northwestern Ghats moist deciduous forest. So we can see that it is also a deciduous forest, but it is moist deciduous forest. Earlier we had dry deciduous forest. These are the animals which are found in this national park. There is blackberg, barking deer, lesser mouse deer and sambar deer. Next we will move to Goa. Now Goa has only one national park, which is Mollem National Park. So we will discuss Mollem National Park, which was established in 1982 or 1978. Again some confusion. This is from a government report. This national park is also characterized by mainly mountains or hills. Here we can see it is located on the eastern margin of Goa, that is on the border of Karnataka. We can see that it is located in South Goa district of Goa and it is a part of Western Ghats. If we have a closer look to this region, we can see that it also has mountains. Here is the 3D view of this national park, where we can see that it mainly consists of mountainous regions of Western Ghats. Here is the satellite view and we can see all these mountains over here. So the Mollem National Park is basically located adjacent to Kali Tiger Reserve. However, it is not part of Kali Tiger Reserve. This Kali Tiger Reserve is in Karnataka. There are some talks of making this as a tiger reserve as an extension of Kali Tiger Reserve in Karnataka. The vegetation in Mollem National Park is semi-evergreen or evergreen. Sal, teak and various types of bamboo is found here. Now this region is evergreen or semi-evergreen mainly because this region receives a lot of rainfall. Therefore, we see that here there are evergreen forests. The famous Dudhsagar Falls, which we have seen in several movies, is located within the Mollem National Park. This waterfall is around 306 meters. It is a cascade or chain of waterfalls. The important animals which are found here are Indian leopard, sambar deer, barking deer, tiger and Indian bison or gaur. Thanks for watching the video and I hope you have liked our take on the national parks. We are doing a 7 video series on national parks where we are going to discuss all the national parks of India. So do watch all of those videos. We are going in the details so that you can take the complicated questions which are asked in UPSC. If you have liked the video, then do share with your friends. And if you like what we are doing, then you can support us using the Paytm ID over here. Thanks for watching the video.